My last podcast, number 28, was about Heller, about this study. Which is a wonderful study. It's actually a study for 3 fingers. That's very simple. Just there's three fingers. What do you learn from that? How to play lightly, how to just play relaxed, how to play with the arms, how the arms and the wrists and the hands work with the fingers, how it all works together. It's a brilliant study, not only a musically brilliant study, but a brilliant study technically. And there's other pieces by Heller which are incredible. And of course, what we also, using those 3 fingers, getting the lightness into those fingers, gives us the way to play with the 4th and 5th fingers, which are usually for every pianist the most difficult fingers. Okay, but when you study that sort of piece, you know how it should feel. Playing, actually, you should actually start trying to play it with these fingers. Got the idea? Trying to play it with the 3rd, 4th and 5th fingers, not only the 1st, 2nd and 3rd finger, but changing it. And of course, trying to do that, that doesn't feel so comfortable, but it's a good study to try to get used to playing the same. My fingers usually go in the same way with using 1, 2, 3, but we should try 3, 4, 5 also. Okay, but that's enough said about that study. But now let's look at another study by Heller, because they are very musical pieces, as pieces in their own right. This study is number 9 of his Opus 45. Celestial Voices is the name. Quite a little different from the study of the Avalanche. Okay, but still, how are we going to do it? We've got a melody note, and a melody note, we play it a little bit, not only with the fingers, but with the arm. So the fingers and the arm are involved. How do we get the sound of the melody? Something like that. Bringing out the melodies is so important. Of course, with this piece, it's more the thumb that's doing all the work. Often we're bringing out the melody with the 5th or 4th finger. Usually it's always those fingers, but this time it's with the thumb. The thumb has a little bit more weight in a way, and it gives itself ready to bring out a melody. So you really need to have a very free and really relaxed arm. And when you've got a relaxed arm, and an arm can move just a little bit. It doesn't have to be big. As Franz Liszt once said, don't make omelettes when you're playing, not this sort of thing. He said that to one lady once when he was annoyed with their playing. But a little bit is quite acceptable. In fact, I think even necessary to really get the sound. If you listen to the great pianists of the past, Moisevich, and I was very lucky to hear him once in live performance, when you see their way they played, they made very subtle and very good movement of their arms. They made the sound not only with the fingers, but with their arm and, of course, the whole body. So, in fact, you get a little bit the idea of Rubinstein sitting there and playing, and it looks as though it's so simple. And it is, basically. It's just basically... And going here, a little bit higher to take the note. And here. A little bit more movement of the thumb. Taking it down, taking a bit more time. Going on here. Going on faster. And here. And taking more time. And then taking a bit more time and then introducing it. Minder minor. A question mark. And one more question mark. Preparing it. The forte. Closing it off. And then a sudden dolce. And lifting up here. The harmonies. Accent there. Taking a bit more time here, not too much. A little question mark here. And then here an answer. And now an answer. Closing it off. And closing it off with this arpeggio going up and out. That's how I would look at it. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. That's the main thing.